profound difference in our communities and around the world. I'm proud of all of the speakers. I really am. But when they step on that stage and they shine brilliantly, there is nothing better than watching that. Each person created the ripple effect that will just go on and on and on, beyond what I will ever be able to comprehend, knowing that their voices were heard to make a difference. That, to me, is the best legacy anybody could ever ask for.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage the founder of DebEx and Amplify Voices, Deb Shapiro.
We didn't, unfortunately, talk about the future, but we did talk about the past. And she shared something with me that she had kept locked inside her as a secret for over 50 years. At the age of 13, my friend had been abducted and trafficked. As you can imagine, this was pretty devastating news for me to hear. Here I was helping others to be able to use their voice and gain power by doing that. Yet here's a dear friend of mine who could not share a story, something that had happened to her over 50 years ago. But this conversation, it sparked an idea. What if we were to take the tools that we use in DebEx and give them to women who are impacted by sex trafficking and sexual assault so they were able to tell their story and experience transformation? You see, DebEx was designed to be a speaker development experience, help people who wanted to be speakers. But the thing that we ended up discovering was so unique. Every person who stood on this stage that shared their authentic truth, they transformed. They walked away with more power, more confidence, more freedom. So what did we do? We took the tools that we use in DebEx in this very program, and then we gave those to women who had been impacted by sex trafficking and sexual assault. And on March 27th, 2021, the first 7 women took the stage to share their triumph over trafficking. And we've been having those conversations for now over 6 years. That one voice, the one voice that was brave enough to speak up, sparked a nonprofit organization that has now impacted thousands of lives. And tonight, the speakers are going to be standing on the stage, hoping to spark something similar in their own life. Now, I do want to remind you that these speakers on the stage, they are not professional speakers. They're just regular people, just like you and me, but they have something in their heart that they want to share, and they have the guts to say it. Now, many of these talks are going to include some very deeply personal stories that people are going to share. They might touch upon grief or loss or mental wellness. If at any point in time during this conversation that we are having tonight, you feel like you need to step out, please feel free to do so. We are lucky enough to have the Semicolon Society. They are in the house. They are a local nonprofit organization that provides free services for mental wellness with a focus on suicide prevention. There's a table right out inside the lobby if you should need to speak with somebody this evening. Now, while the spotlight may be on our speakers this evening, I do want to put it onto you temporarily. Because all that angst, all the challenges that our speakers went through over the course of the past 90 days, and I know you all know, would be for naught if they didn't have ears to hear these messages. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening, for watching these individuals take their first step in what we hope is many in making a profound difference in our community. Now, y'all didn't come here to see me speak, so without further ado, it is my profound honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 2026 Spring DebEx speakers.
Please help me welcome to the DebEx stage, Marianne Karstadt.
If you haven't figured it out yet, this is my friend that sparked Amplify Voices. Sparky, thank you. Thank you for sharing yourself so vulnerably with me 6 years ago to spark what has become Amplify Voices. We have a few other people that would like to acknowledge and thank you as well. So I'd like to invite up onto the stage the executive director for Amplify Voices, the Amplify board of directors, the advisors, our trainers, our facilitators, our graduates, and our volunteers are here tonight. These are the individuals that represent all of the different roles inside of Amplify, roles that would not exist if it weren't for Sparky sharing her story 6 years ago. We have somebody else that we'd like to introduce you to today as well. With us tonight, we also have Kennedy Ches, joining us from Arizona's 4th Congressional District as a public advocate for Congressman Stanton's office.
To present this congressional recognition on behalf of Representative Greg Stanton to Sparky Fletcher and to celebrate the extraordinary work of Amplify Voices. Sparky's courage, resilience, and willingness to share her story helped inspire the creation of Amplify Voices, an organization that has touched countless lives by using storytelling to build empathy, reduce stigma, and strengthen community connection. Was a steadfast supporter of Amplify's mission. Tonight, we honor Sparky for her bravery, her voice, and her commitment to helping others feel seen, heard, and understood. We also recognize Amplify Voices for creating opportunities for people to share their stories in ways that foster understanding, connection, and positive change. And Amplify Voices on this well-deserved recognition.
This is what can happen when a voice is brave enough to share. And this is why Amplify exists, to discover, develop, and amplify the voices of those who have historically been silenced. On our screen, we're going to display for you a QR code. We invite you to take out your phones now if you are inspired to help keep this ripple effect going and allow other voices to be heard. Please consider donating. While you are doing that, we'd like to introduce you, and it is our privilege to bring out Miss Jen McMillan, who will perform her original song, She's Me. Enjoy.
Please help me welcome to the DebEx stage, Nicole Miller.
35 years I worked in technology, a male-dominated industry, a career that made me feel like a real outsider. For most of those years, I felt like success was happening behind a door I couldn't open. But 10 years ago, I found the keys to the men's room. This isn't a story about becoming one of the guys. It's a story about how I stopped trying to fit in a room that wasn't built for me, and I found my own way to succeed. It's been quite a journey, and for the first 20 years, it seemed like I didn't have access to the same opportunities. To be accepted, I needed to change or make adjustments to fit in. How many of you have ever felt this way? That being you wasn't enough, or found success was just out of reach? Well, that's how I felt. Every day, always swimming upstream, trying to fit in, yet not knowing why it was so hard. I was a top performer, likable, yet I still never felt like I got the recognition I wanted. Yet the men around me, seemingly always on top, easily being understood, getting recognized, and promoted. But in this man's world, I'd hear things like, "You don't need the promotion. He's got the family to take care of. Why don't you toss the football with the guys and show how adaptable you are? Try that in heels." And then there's golf. For my entire career, men would coordinate golf games as meetings right in front of me, yet never inviting me or my female colleagues. Oh, I inserted myself once or twice, only to find the awkward tension left me wishing I had just stayed out of it. It was clear I didn't fit in, and that made me feel small. And the real conversations at work, those were happening in places I wasn't even invited to. Let's face it, work was a male culture, and I'm not a man. Look, I know I chose a career in a male-dominated industry, and having grown up with 2 older brothers, I thought I was made for this boys' club. But maybe I wasn't. It felt uncomfortable. like a fish out of water, inauthentic. All that trying to fit in not only felt hard, it created issues. And in one unexpected moment, it all became real, and I finally understood. I had just come home after asking the team to pull overtime on a Saturday. I had just done the biggest thing in my leadership career. I used my power. I led a large team to hit a deadline, a software ship date no one had hit in nearly a decade, and the team was thrilled. But when I got home that day, the phone rang. When I picked it up, I heard the voice of my boss. "What have you done?" I had to think. What had I done? While my brain raced for that answer, he said, "Nicole, you have single-handedly ruined the company, ruined everything I've built. You made the team work on a Saturday. You are incompetent and you're not a good leader." I froze in shame, and then a slight whimper slipped out. And then he said the words I'll never forget. "You're unreasonable to cry. I can't talk to you because women just cry." Click. That moment didn't just change my day, it changed me. It was confirmation that he saw women as weak. So it wasn't okay to be myself, express my emotions, or be real. That's why I didn't fit in. After that moment, I struggled even more. I kept adjusting my presence to fit into these all-male systems and to be accepted. I started to question myself relentlessly. Should I be tougher, more assertive, less empathetic? Oh my gosh, do not cry. That constant adjusting and second guessing, it robbed me of my empathetic nature and my emotional flow. But it kept me in the game. And for a time, I thought I was rocking it. I shifted jobs every 2 to 3 years, and I'd get titles and experience. But really, I was just trying to find a place to fit in. And work was becoming a grind. Like a hamster on a wheel, I just kept running, yet never getting anywhere. And you know what else it was doing? Killing my joy, shrinking my light, and robbing me of my real future. I may have seemed like an outward success to others, but I wasn't even sure who I was anymore. All that adapting to be someone else created a very dim version of who I really was. I wanted more. I wanted stability, recognition, joy, and success up the ladder my way. So I did what any engineering, logical brain woman would do. I decided to fix it. I created my own way, my keys to finding success. First, I found my authentic self. I had to find the me before I tried to fit in, and I had to bring that Nicole to the table. I no longer hid my feminine energy, nor apologized for my emotions. Then I started negotiating my real value. I stood up for myself, raised my self-worth, and expected equitable treatment. I then said yes to my bigger future. A yes that didn't say run to escape. Instead, it simply said stay and build. With those 3 things, I re-engineered my core beliefs at work, and this shifted everything. I used the keys to realize who I could be and open new doors. And now, I'm the COO of a vibrant tech company, an AI thought leader and strategist, a noted tech executive invited to sit with companies like Google, Meta, and Amazon. Earlier this year, as a member of Crew, an elite group of executives, I won an award. For what, you ask? Thank you. I won an award for just being me. And in another twist I never saw coming, just a few weeks ago, I was promoted to president of the company. What changed these last 10 years versus the prior 25? Just me. I started being myself, authentic and engaged, unapologetically me, the me before I adapted. No, my male-dominated industry didn't change. I didn't ask my colleagues to change, and I didn't find a new company. I was the one who shifted, and you can shift too. If you've ever felt like me and you're looking to find success on your own terms, male or female, we all struggle to fit into rooms not made for us. I say my keys can help you too. Here's how. K. K is know yourself. Be authentically you. Lead your way. Find the you before the system made you adapt. E. E says engage your higher value. No negotiations on what you're worth, period. Y? Y stands for yes. Yes helps you build. Your future deserves your best yes. And finally, S. The shift that emerges when you become real. This is when the light within you becomes so bright, no one can put it out. Over a decade ago, I thought I was looking for the keys to fit in, a way to adapt and change. But what I really found was this: success is just the byproduct of being me. And I believe you can have success too. Take these keys, unlock the door, step into your own bigger future. Success is waiting on the other side. All it requires is you. Thank you.